know what it is, man. We starting, we going all the way 100 miles per hour. We not slowing down. We ain't even gonna breathe for this episode, man. If you don't know who this is, man, this is 1/3 of the group grind mode. Mr. Chaos, aka Something Serious, aka Nothing Nice, aka Pressure Cane, aka the Section 8 sex symbol. Why? Because I'm the shit in the projects, bitch. What other way I need to say it? Hey, man, we bringing you the hottest all the time, the best, the greatest, the most legendary, man. Every day I've been giving y'all a lot of game that came from the game long before I did it and while I'm in it and after I'm probably going to be gone. I'm just appreciating these interviews too, man, because a lot of these artists, man, they think they know, but they have no idea, man. So that's really what this stems from, man. Shout out to everybody down here in Dade County that's on the live already, man. Y'all tuned in. You know we on time, man. We do black people time over here. I know I don't have a lot of time with this legend who I've been waiting to be in front of, who I haven't been in front of in a good little minute. So I ain't even going to waste no time. No time. He told me to be on time. I was on time. He on time. And that's just how we going to do it, man. Hey, man, I ain't even say who it was. So they going to get all this uncut rawness with you, man. I'm glad to have you first and foremost, man. Mr. Collipark, a.k.a. DJ Smurf, man. How you doing, King?
Man, I'm good, man. How you doing?
Man, I'm happy, man.
You look happy, man. First of all, before you get started, it's crazy. I was watching, I was online or something on Instagram. And I know you've seen it, that clip from that movie with, what was that movie, that Spike Lee movie that came on Netflix where they was walking through the club and they put y'all song on?
God, you got to run it back for me, man.
Bro, I can't remember that song. I meant the name of that the movie, but it had y'all
right.
Put y'all music up to it.
Right.
I posted that shit, and that shit got about 10,000 views.
That's crazy.
Because he looked like he was dancing to y'all shit. The movie was set.
Oh, you know what? I'm about to with my man Chad Bowles.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
That's funny as hell, man.
I had heard the record, but I forgot how much I liked that record. When I saw it, when I heard it sync with that, I had to go find it.
And you know, I seen that on Facebook. When I seen it on Facebook, I was like, man, these people do not play around. They did that again with This Is America when they had Yo Boy with his shirt off and he was doing it. I was like, that was so funny to me, bro. Like, I swear to God, like every month we probably go viral, bro. Like, and I don't complain about it, man, because it send them streams up, it send them Shazams up, and then we get a check every 3-4 months from it.
That record is so big, man. That record, I love records like that, but I hate that the world don't know about it. Like the records that I wish the world knew about it, man. And that whole sound and the vibe that y'all bring, man. That shit there. I love that record. I wanted to tell you that before we got started.
Man, I appreciate that. But then I'm gonna say one thing that I don't like, and we can have this same mutual feeling because I heard you say this in an interview before about the political side. I never been good with that, bro. Like to play these little politic games, don't step on this person nice, don't say that, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it turned me into the villain sometimes when people that's from my neighborhood and my side of town, they know me for being a superhero. You know what I mean? Because I'm always trying to bring everybody together. That's why I am Martin Luther Chaos. Like, I'm always trying to figure out a way where it's going to fit and how we going to build an empire together, dog. And you know, I hate that happened because, you know what I mean? Like, we've been on year after year issues with my group member because of that. Like, we had a lot of shade-ass business and stuff that I ain't enjoy, bro. But, you know, it's still being reborn with the new age, man, to watch these little 11-year-olds and 15-year-olds jump into it, you know, and to turn it back on you, to spin the block on you, man. Like, that's what excites me about you, King, because you did this long before I did. And just like I had Money Mark on my show too, man, I was giving him his roses, bro, because y'all have did things that I know y'all probably wanted to have that kind of win, but I know you ain't know. There's no way that none of us could know that it's going to take off that far, be that big. So I'm looking at you, bro, and I always been a student of the game. I watch you be the DJ that you was. I'm a little nigga watching you. I think the first time I ever seen you was at the Moon. if I'm all the way right, like I'm a new nigga coming up there for TJ's DJs and back and forth, like doing my little thing, my little 1-2 step, and then I owned a magazine at that time called the Grind Magazine.
Okay.
So I kept being around you. It's so crazy how they say the world small, but the game smaller. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Vaughn, who was with Mega Ace or whatever, he was doing this thing at the Moon, and I kept like being around you in the distance. And then I end up being, I told you that when I in your comments, when I seen Hurricane Chris, I hadn't seen him in a while, but I ended up working for y'all situation because, you know, here it is. I had a street team down here in Miami. And then Big Teach had put me in position. He was like, listen, man, I got this little situation with the dude, got the A Bay record. Right. And I was like, man, send it to me. I sat in the truck. He pulled up on me at the flea market. I was doing my little street shit. And then this before grind mode, now I had a big name already. And I sat in the truck with him, and he said, man, you got to work smarter, not harder. That's one of the biggest lessons I got from him, dog. He say, you be going so hard and everybody know you, bro, but let me kind of elevate you a little bit. And then he told me about the situation with Polo Grounds, and you know what I mean? He already gave me the history with the whole TVT situation. And I got to watch him work that because, you know, Pitbull always been like the distant cousin of mine. You know what I mean? Like, so, man, just I said all that to say, man, I'm so proud of you, bro. Like, thank you. If an alien snatched me off the planet right now, dog, I need you to know that musically, like, you don't get enough credit to me. Like, you probably feel like you done got them plaques, you done got them wins, you put them numbers on the board. But to me, when I'm standing at, hell nah, bro. Your name supposed to be in that top 5, bro. Because when it come to trend setting shit, when it comes to niggas that you've brought in the game, like no different than like a Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy ain't the only one, but to see those records still be, they're timeless, bro. Like that whisper and you know what I'm saying?
That's my blessing. That aspect of it's probably why I don't get upset that my name ain't mentioned. Sometimes it fuck with me, I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
Very rarely it does, but the reason why I think I'm cool is because the music is so timeless and it keep going. My shit from 20 years ago is still just, well, I ain't gonna say just as, but it's very relevant today.
Right.
And every week, every other week, hell, I just cleared a sample clearance today for Soulja Boy. Yin Yang, people sampling, licensing the music for commercials, movies, TV. So, and then to see Yin Yang still out here touring, even without the Millennium Tour, colleges and being able to go and play those crowds that a lot of artists that were probably bigger than us at the time, wise record sales wise, but not now. You know what I mean? The catalog didn't stand the test of time. The way that their catalog or our catalog stand the test of time. So that's what keep me all right with it. I'm all right with it.
You said something that I want to go back and pinpoint because I be having like a lot of artists watch my show. I have a lot of people that's, you know, tapped in different markets. I don't want to lose that point of what you said because here it is. You put them songs out 1 million years ago, but you still like getting passive income from it. Can you go elaborate on that just a little bit? Just to let them know that business important because here it is, you're recycling business to turn it into something new now. Talk about that.
Well, I as an artist, as DJ Smurf, the artist on Itchy Bun Records, when it was I was green. I knew nothing about the business. I got my deal. I was up under MC Shy D at the time. Wasn't no paperwork, but I was his. That's a blessing. So I was brought into the game in great situations. Nobody ever took advantage of me. So I tried to pass that down. Still got to do business, but you know, I passed that down in the way I did business with artists up under me. But I was introduced in the way that this shit worked when I went to Itchy Bun to collect what I thought was my first check at royalty check time.
Right.
So when I went up there to get my money, I was also going up there to discuss my follow-up single to Ooh Lord, which was my hot song at the time. Party people, that shit right there.
Right.
So we was going up there to get my check and to talk about the next video going into the next single. So they hand me the envelope with the statement in it, and I'm thinking of check all this shit. So I pull this shit out and I look at it, and my mind I couldn't even process what I was looking at because we had worked so hard through spring break and all that shit, working that record. And it showed that I was hundreds of thousands of dollars in the hole. And at that moment, because I didn't know that you recoup at your little percentage.
Right.
So all the video, all the touring, all the road, all the radio shit was coming out my little piece.
Right.
My nigga, I quit.
Damn.
I quit on the, and we had just hired Van, I can't remember his last name, bless his soul, he just passed a couple of years ago. He had just came over from Atlantic Records, so we had this new kid. I was in his office, my nigga, I quit on the spot. I found a loophole in my contract because they did some slick shit.
Right.
And I got out my contract on the spot. So I say all that to say this. The way that this business works, you gotta find other ways outside of, and you know, everybody knows now what the record companies are about. Right. We didn't know that at the game when it's common now.
Right.
You know, your son might, or your daughter might know more than you about, Dad, this is how you get money off YouTube, but they can come to you and give you the game right now.
I swear you're right.
Back then, you was first generation in this shit.
Right.
Richard Warren Records was the only thing we had here. There wasn't no Atlantic, wasn't no Universal. QC didn't exist. Fucking none of that shit existed. So because that's number one, as far as the business side of it, the blessing of where we come from, which is the South, Georgia, Florida, the type of music that we made.
Right.
Which was at that time Miami bass for y'all.
Right, bass music.
Booty shake for us. We call it booty shake, y'all call it bass.
Right.
So I was brought into the game making a certain type of music. And it's not as popular when you go around certain crowds because everybody thugging and gangster shit and all that shit. So when you're having certain conversations, it ain't as popular. But when we start talking catalog and reusage and all that shit, the type of music that I made, Soulja Boy, Yin Yang Twins, Wobble, all that shit, it never dies. So that's the blessing.
That's a blessing.
Me learning the game like I did early, and then coming from the type of music that we made. That's how I wind up in the position that I wind up in today with songs that you can recycle.
And it's amazing what you're saying that, because I don't care how much you knew in the 90s era or the early 2000 era or the 2010s. Right now, you still got to keep educating yourself, because, like, remember, there was a point in which streaming didn't exist. There's certain things, you understand what I'm saying? Like, and some things happen in which we think is going to be short term. Like, I thought streaming wasn't going to last, but then other people around me like, nah, you got to capitalize on this because that's a separate check. And I'm like, wait, so you know what I mean? Like, even when I first came in the game, like, if I'd have knew more about merchandising, man, I'd have had me a damn Shopify store when I first came in, because everybody had I'm So High shirts, and I started a whole South Day Juke movement. Like, South Dade is where I'm from. You know what I mean? So when you hear that at the end of the song, can you South Day Juke? That's like, that was me actually recording that dance in the flea market. And the person who used to do my ringtones, they edited that shit to make it like go, because a lot of people don't know this shit too, man. Because I'm a DJ lover too, man. That's another reason I respect what you do, bro. Because you gotta have an ear for this shit, bro. Right. And at that time, we didn't have like a real juke catalog. You know what niggas was juking on that I be telling people and they laugh? They had that Bet That record from Trick Daddy. They had that, but they sped it up. Okay. So niggas down my way, they was Bet That. Okay. And then niggas don't even know half of the time niggas juking in the flea market, they're dancing the trick shit. Oh, but then the nigga put the music to that, and the timing went right. You feel me? Yeah. The BPMs lined up with the Bet That sped up, and then my song, and then there was another record that was real hot, but it was like a nigga who wasn't popping at that time. He got killed too. I forget his name, bro. And then I just took it on my back and just kept moving with it. And then it was a bidding war, because here it is, 99 Jams hard to get on. Power 96, you definitely ain't gonna get on unless you got a label behind you. Right. But like I said, I learned a lot of shit from A-Bay. Right. I was on the conference calls on Polo Grounds. I was dealing with J Records and all that there. And the layout, because I'm giving you your roses back, a lot of what y'all did is still spilt into that. You know, I always tell people like, oh yeah, I broke that record. I broke y'all. I'm like, nah, it ain't true. It's a lot of puzzle pieces that made my career happen. And dog, I'm giving you that honor because if y'all ain't do a lot of what y'all did, it still bled into what I did.
Right.
And here it is. I'm a student, bro. Like I love watching niggas like y'all before me. And I'm like, damn, bro, like, damn, I learned this XYZ. And then that's what got that off because nigga, y'all had so much dance music. There ain't no way to tell my story without telling your story. Right. You understand what I'm saying?
Let me give you something else. I don't know if you knew it, but I'm actually I was born in Orlando. Right. I was born in Orlando, Florida. So a lot of people don't know that, but I got the best of both worlds as far as influence. Right. You know, Magic Mike was probably fucking right. He's so high up on my influence. And even see, I'm gonna get a little detailed with the shit. Right. So you said you're a fan of DJing and shit. So it's like coming from the band. Like when you listen to a producer like Pharrell, you might not have known it, but when somebody tell you, "Oh, he played drums," when you start listening and you start listening to the sounds he used, you be like, "Oh shit, okay, I hear it." So like for me, when you a DJ, and back then the DJ, Mr. Mix, Magic Mike, all them cats from back in the day, when you're a DJ, you listening to patterns and the intricacies of the cuts. So when you listen to my beats, all that shit go into that. So, that's crazy. Yeah. So a lot of people don't know that my Florida heritage is that's my X factor.
It makes sense though.
Yeah.
it makes sense though.
That's why my shit dropped the way it dropped.
Right. And it hit heavy too though. It always hit heavy, bro. The DJ and the production. What would you say you love the most? Like, because you don't put projects together, you don't put songs together, but like when a nigga see you in that booth, I ain't gonna lie, you a different animal. You know what I mean? And I gotta watch this. Like, you could tell the love is real. Like, you really love this shit. It ain't like, damn, it's like a chore or something like that. So, what do you have one that weighs more than the other?
Damn, that's a good question. I would have to say DJing just because without that, that's the slab. Like, everything is built on that. And that's why, you know, after I stepped away from the shit, I said, you know, if I'm gonna continue to do something music related, I gotta find something about it that I love again that ain't tied to nothing. Ain't tied to no money, it ain't tied to nothing. Right. So I had stopped DJing for like 20 years, like cold turkey. Stop. I ain't do because you know that's a time consuming, you know, job or whatever.
Oh, it's practice.
Right. And so I took it that serious. Like I couldn't disrespect myself I got a whole career as a DJ before I even started any of this music industry shit. And so I didn't want to disrespect what I had built that part of my life. And so I stepped away. But when I said, you know, after I stepped away from the yin yang and the music industry part of it, I said, I still, you know, I like music, but I don't love it at this point. So where did the love start? And it took me back to DJing. And that's what got me back DJing now. And I do it because I love it. It keeps me connected to the music. And now, to be honest with you, I just literally last week, I started digging for juke music. and let me tell you something. Right. It's shit like that back in the day. I just had this conversation with my girl, and she was asking me about what influences me or what inspires me. Right. And we were talking about what inspired me back then. And I told her everything. Because I was out. I was in the streets. I was out. I could be somewhere and see something, or I could be in the club and hear something. Right. As an older dude, I ain't going in the club like I used to back in the day. I ain't out here tricking off like I was back then. Right. So all that shit that it could be any little thing back then, but now, and even the competition, the unsaid competition that you get from like being in the era of Lil Jon or being in the era of Pharrell or all these all that shit is a factor. Right. When you at the peak of what you're doing. And so when I say all that to say, when I started digging through that juke music, because I didn't know no artist, no nothing. So I had to go and I found a fucking I was on Tidal. Mm-hmm. And I don't know whose record I was, but it suggested some artists up under him. Oh. And bruh, I started digging through that shit, man. And that I don't know how see that kind of shit, because that's where I come from.
Right.
When I started going through that shit, it made me want to like get up on this shit. And because what people don't realize, that's what make the A&R who discovers Pitbull the shit, because he know Pitbull might be the shit in Miami, but don't nobody else know about Pitbull.
Right.
So how do I take that shit, that influence that he have down in Miami, and take it to the world? That's what make it special. Right. For me, it was Soulja Boy. Like nobody knew about Soulja Boy, but I knew he was special. Y'all just didn't know about it.
Right.
And so finding some shit like that juke music, it amazes me to this day that don't nobody know. I mean, people know.
Right.
But
right.
Girl don't know about it, dog.
Yeah,
whoever,
it's different.
Bro, whoever, because it's feel good, it's dancing, it's partying. Whoever cracked that code right there,
right,
it's going, boy. Because it's been going on for a minute.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like we've been having that discussion, and everybody been in my chest, and I watch a lot of little babies and grandbabies come from it. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people try to take that remedy, but you know, like when grandma make that sweet potato pie, it'd be funny to watch everybody else try to do it, but they missing that. It might be a little bit of nutmeg or vanilla extract. Right. These niggas don't get it because you ain't feel it from the original shit anyways. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, God rest the dead, Bizzle, man. Like that's family, man. He had the Naked Hustle record that I'm a stripper. And bro, when he came out with that lip biting animal, before he did that, we used to be in the club, strip club all the time. That back then it was Coco's.
Okay.
And he was like, damn, what the fuck you call that shit? Y'all be tweaking. And it was a pill popping era. I've never did drugs in my life, but I always been around it. You feel me? Like I drink a little something and I don't even get drunk, bro. Like when I go out, I always been the shooter. I gotta know what the hell going on. Okay. And I like staying free. I ain't nothing for me in prison. You feel me? So like I told him that, and I was like, bro, like juking is just like, it's a little pill popping thing, and I used to be at all the after hours. So when everybody go home 4 o'clock, nigga, I'm in that bitch till like 8 o'clock. I was doing my little thug thing. Okay. And then he put that in a song, and it took off on that lip biting. It looks like dancing to me, lip biting animal, like that little record that he had. I'm gonna send you a playlist too when we done.
Bro, I need it.
So you can see and hear what it is, because I also want to say this, dog. Like me and Lunch Money got something that we working on, and Cupid. You know, you got the record with Cupid Shuffle, man.
That's my dude.
Yeah, like that's family, bro. And he speak highly of you, man, Cupid, man. And I just sent him a record that I got him and Lunch Money, and everybody been trying to get me to bang out some shit. I've been doing a lot of writing behind the scenes, but now I'm about to fuck something up. Like I ain't even gonna lie, like the records and the sounds that I'm doing right now with like a couple producers that I ain't even gonna name, and like my homie Washi Fire, he from Major Lazer, man. Like, you know, he put a lot of numbers on the board, and me and him been working on some records this crazy, bro. Right. Like some real crazy. I'm gonna give you some shit, man, so you can see what lane I'm going in.
Right.
So because these young niggas never let it go, like, cause they got a soul flow juke movement, and I'm gonna make it. Like so on TikTok, they just like running numbers up. Like
I saw that when I started looking it up.
Yeah, I'm like, God damn, like these niggas ain't never. So when I come back through, it's like they treat a nigga like I'm goddamn John Gotti or something, like, or that music
nigga,
shit.
If you are the artist that can lay claim, because I ain't know where it came from or where it started, whatever. If you can lay claim to that, you are that.
Nah, I am, bro. Like I'm a modest nigga. I'm real humble. I swear to God. But then I let a lot of niggas play around with that title. But when it comes to the South Day Juke movement, like I started that shit. Like I seen it, because you know what it is. I seen other dances. When it comes to Miami, you got North Miami, you got South Miami. I'm from South Miami. I'm from what they call the countryside of Miami. Like we got a lot of people down there. We got a lot of artists, but we don't get a lot of attention. So when I got into the marketing and the promoting and street promoting and guerrilla promoting, I start branching artists from my side of town out further out. But I use myself as a guinea pig. and this shit had worked, bro. And then you know, because we had got signed to Universal Republic.
Okay.
But yeah, we had some bad business, but you know,
that was my first deal with Yin Yang was with Universal.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. Like, but I don't complain about none of it, dog. I learned so much from it, man, and I'm appreciative. Right. Man, I know I don't have you for a little, but a couple more minutes. What I did want to say, I'm gonna cut some of them other questions, but I will say what's next for you, man, because like you got that smile on your face because you really, really get high from this shit, and it still got that. You know how music is. It's our first love. So what's next? Like, if you had to give a real short answer for that.
You know what? People ask me that all the time, man, and I'm on some Tom Brady shit, right?
Right.
Like, I want to do this shit really till I die, right? Mm-hmm. The blessing of it is I don't have to do it to pay bills. Right. And I tell people, you know, with this, because to me that's what fucked it up for me. Right. You know, when you start making money with this shit, right, and you start being responsible for people, and you know, you get a family and all that shit, the shit get real.
It get different.
And right. And that's what took it robbed me.
Right.
Of why and how I did it when I first started. So I always tell producers when they ask me, well, what best advice can you get? What blah blah blah. So for me, I'm always a fan of somebody who's doing something new. That's why I'm a fan of the juke music like that. Because to me, right, it's still new. Right. So for me, in an ideal world, I would find an artist that I could put next to me like I did Yin Yang. Right. Because out of all the shit that I did, that's the only group where I was like Jam Master Jay to Run DMC.
Right.
The unspoken third member of the group, right?
That's a good way to put it.
Right. So that was me. And for me to do this, for me to get back in this game, because I feel like I'm at ground zero again. All the old shit is old shit, and it's all good. Make great money from it, all that shit.
Right.
So for me to get back, and I would love to get back into it, but I gotta find an artist. Preferably a young nigga.
Right.
A young nigga, because that's what make it fun when you can learn and grow with this shit.
Right.
So what's next for me? I would like for it to be I stumble up on somebody young and refreshing that likes to do the type of music that I like to do, meaning fun.
Right.
He can teach me, you know, like, oh, you old as fuck. You can't do it like that no more. All that shit.
Right.
And just do it again. That's what I hope for my.
You done did it long enough to know, like, when it can't be forced. Like, when you see it, you know it's gonna happen. No different than a Soulja Boy or other projects that you done dealt with. Now, before I get you up out of here, because I'm gonna get your ass up out of here on time. If you walked in the studio right now, it's 3 artists in there. I ask every guest this: 3 artists in there, dead or alive. What's the 3 artists that you need to work with, bro? Dead or alive? It don't matter if they dead or alive. Which one is it?
God damn.
Now, we done lost a lot too, man. we done lost some artists, bro. Dead or alive. You got something that's on a bucket list that you like, damn, I got to get one in with him, or I never got a chance to get this one in the art. You know what I'm saying? And it don't matter if it's one song.
It might not be artists for me. It might be producers.
Go ahead. Go that route.
It might be producers. I would love, because I do want to know some shit. When I hear it, I'd be like, man, what the fuck was he on?
Right.
What made him do that? How do they think the creative process? Pharrell is number one. He's probably like my biggest, I'm his biggest fan, Pharrell.
Right.
Some of that shit,
He's from the future.
Right. So Pharrell, damn, that's a good one.
Right.
Maybe Prince.
That's a good one.
Maybe Prince and Pitbull, man.
Okay.
I had so much fun working with Pitbull, man.
Right.
He's like, that was, other than Yin Yang, that might have been the dude that really got it. As far as me, I could call him with anything, and vice versa. And hopefully you know, we just got back in contact with each other, and we trying to work something out where we do some shit in the future as well.
Right. Listen, I'm about to let you go. They got the info at the bottom. Before you get up out of here, I always make everybody do this. Take 60 seconds and get some advice, whether it's to a producer or a new up-and-coming artist. Like, get about 60 seconds of some advice, man.
My best advice that I kind of already said it. That there's always a quick and easy way to do shit, but it don't last. So be yourself, have confidence, bet on yourself. Right. Because when you do that, even from the, you know, that sounds easy, but even from the types of deals that you'll do, because a lot of times you could take more money and give away more of what you own. When you believe in yourself, you know this shit gonna work. So my back end is gonna outweigh whatever little money. Matter of fact, I just got offered some shit just the other day. Well, why don't you take less percentage of this record and we'll throw you a little more money? Nah, I'll take the back end. I've always been a back end dude. So believe in yourself, because in long term, look at Kanye. Wow. That's all I gotta say.
Right. That's a good example.
That's all believing in himself.
Right. It get greater later.
It get greater later.
That's a fact.
And if you can't do that, you might. I don't encourage everybody to do this shit. This shit ain't for everybody. You know, when my son came to me sophomore year in college and said, I think I want to do music, I said, no, hell you don't. Because I know what really want to do this shit look like.
Right.
Because I did it. You can't come to me when college get a little rough and tell me you think about, I done bought you turntables that you never touched. I done bought you Fruity Loops that you never hooked up. I did all that, and you had no interest. So I don't encourage people that in this for the wrong reason. You can't believe in yourself if you're in this for the wrong reason.
I feel you, but I don't want my sons nowhere around that shit. They be feeling like I'm hating. I'm like, listen, you gotta have a dog in you, man. Like, you gotta have a different hunger. Like I had a hunger that was different. You know what I mean? Or you got to have an extreme level of love for a dog. And every time I've heard you speak about music, it sounds like that. Like, whoever you dating right now or with, that's your mistress. You know what I'm saying? Music first.
Yeah.
I'm going to be real, like, boy, any woman I ever dealt with. Yeah.
That's why I'm divorced, my nigga.
Right. Every woman I done dealt with, like, damn, it get in the way, dog. Sometimes every woman can't deal with it. And I try to tell them right off the rip, like, baby, this bitch been here. She loyal too, boy. That bitch, it's a toxic relationship, man. This bitch stressful, nigga. Like, and that hoe be hoeing. I let her. We got a poly relationship. You feel me? Like, we polygamy like a motherfucker, but I love this bitch. She ain't gonna go nowhere, and boy, y'all gonna be at my funeral singing this shit, bitch. Like, and she gonna be right there with me.
That's right.
Like, loud too. That bitch gonna be loud at the funeral, bitch.
That's right. That's right.
So, hey, man, I appreciate your time, man. Listen, I tried to cram it all together, man. I hope I ain't made you late for nothing. We definitely got to do this together, man. I definitely got to get the contact, and we're going to continue to build, man, because you dropped a lot of jewels, man, and you just, like, you deserve whatever's coming to you, man, like, for real, because you've been a blessing to so many lives, man, not just people that you done either paid or helped out directly. You indirectly blessed a lot of people, and I'm one of those witnesses, man. So thank you, King, for real, man.
Well, hey, I need a folder. I don't need no playlist. I need the actual songs. I need you to WeTransfer me some shit or Dropbox me some shit.
Yeah. I got some shit for you. So that way. So that way you can go in the direction, like, even with that whole movement or like, you know, when you DJing down here or in that Florida area, this shit, it's a different pocket.
Right.
It's a different pocket, but
I need it.
Even if I got a 1x1 some shit to you, boy, I'm gonna get it to. I got your info, man. Hey, man, again, bless you, man, and I appreciate you, King.
For sure, man.
Man, he out of here, man. I appreciate all y'all for tuning in. That is legendary. What just took place. Respect My Grind TV. I don't want to talk about nothing else, man. I mean, everything been already talked about. What I want to talk about with this guy who was here before I got here, and here still doing his thing, man. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in, man. Shout out to everybody that's online. Shout out to all my Haitians that's online, man. Y'all know y'all go hard for a nigga, man. West Palm Beach, what's up? Lee County, Little Pakistan, what's up? Definitely Little Haiti, man. They've been, trying to get me back over there to do some things. Opalaka Back Blues. I got something that I'm working on that I'm gonna bring some attention over there. Shout out to everybody that's still supporting the movie, man. Baghdad, we over 1.3 million views. I'm still excited about that, man, because I ain't no actor, bro, but somebody believed in me to gave me that chance to do that. I played a lead role in that movie, and that shit done did numbers that I ain't even planning on it doing. So, artists, if you're trying to get interviewed, I got a special running on. If it ain't about no money, man, just stay out my inbox. That's the best way we gonna be friends. We gonna be friends if you stay out my inbox, because I'm always about money, bro. I got a small fee for me to knock an interview out with you. I got another 7 people just jumped on it. And 3 of them is some names. Y'all gonna see the names when y'all see the flyers, man. So tap in, artists, if you're trying to get on. It's a good place to be. Respect my grind, man. I'm up out of here, man. I ain't got no go out music or none of that shit, man. I'm out of here, man. Y'all be safe, keep God first, and try not to get shot, bitch. You know what I'm talking about? And when I say shot, I be COVID, bitch.